Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Fisher, and I'm addressing the community of the Billion Coin, TBC as we call it for short. All around the world, we're in 200 countries, which is pretty much every country. We're a cryptocurrency, been out for 2 years, and we are doing 24/7 live broadcasts every day since this last March 21st, which was our 2nd year anniversary. Now, we were not doing it before that. We're doing it now. So we've divided every day up 24 hours into half-hour slots. So 48 slots are available. We've almost got them all filled. There's still some spots open. Some people can only come in and do 1 a week or 2 a week or 3 a week. And then some of us try to do one every single day, which is what I'm trying to do. But I'm sure there'll be days, as there has been, where something comes up and I'm unable to do it. But the reason we're doing it is because now after 2 years, our community is large enough at 3 million people that own either some coins or divisions of the coins, which we call Kringles. Like with the Bitcoin, it's called Satoshis. Okay, so Kringles, there's enough of us now where the transactions are so many that old blockchain platform got bogged down last year, halfway through the year. And so we immediately started to build a brand new one, super fast, 2.0, and it's done. It's awesome. And we are migrating to it starting tomorrow. And those on the other side of the world, they're already starting to migrate because they're a day ahead of us, right? Okay, so we're very, very excited about this. And so we decided to do these in order to really step things up, because things are going to step up with our coin. The Billion Coin is going to become a household name very quickly. People are going to find out about it, in spite of the fact that we are not on a trading exchange or a market like all the other Bitcoin, like all the other cryptocurrencies are, which can be manipulated. Once you put something on a market, it could be manipulated by those who have a lot of money, can buy up whatever it is, whether it's the stock market or whether it's the coin market or whether it's Forex. But Forex is a little tougher, but with the coin market, they can do that, okay? So they buy up all the Bitcoin, raises the price up, everybody jumps in to make a little bit of percentage growth on their money. Those who are smart take it out quickly when they reach a certain point, as long as they're not greedy. And then those who don't understand how the system works, they get hurt, because when it gets to a high enough price, the wealthy will dump, okay? They'll sell. And that drops the price down. People panic that are not, quite aware of how things go, and they sell their coin and they put it back into the trading exchange and back into the system. And that's exactly what the wealthy want you to do. And then the price goes down and down and down, and people just go, oh my gosh, Ooh. And then the rich say, okay, now is a good time to buy it all back up again and get your coins. And they keep doing that. That's the system. That's how the wealthy take control. They keep finding ways to take the wealth of whatever comes up, whatever's out there of value, and get it into their own hands so that they can continue to control the rest of the world. And that's why we have poverty and so much horror in the world. Wars, everything you can think of. Think about it. It's because people think that the world is scarce. There's not enough resources for everyone. There's not enough wealth for everyone. And there is plenty. Okay, but we've been brainwashed by the elite, the banking system, the central banking system, to say, hey, no, there's not enough for you guys. There's enough for us. But I mean, they're not going to come right out and say that, but that's what they're doing. They accumulate the wealth. They go into countries all over the world. They strip those countries' resources. They've been doing it for centuries. Okay? And the people that live in those countries are the ones that get hurt, including us right here in America. The greatest and richest nation in the world has some incredible poverty. We've got people that can no longer afford to even go to McDonald's or Taco Bell anymore. They are all on food stamps. Okay. They're on the welfare system. It's crazy the way it is compared to even 30 years ago. Okay. And it's because the US dollar / Federal Reserve note has gone down in value by 97% since it came out in 1913. Okay. And it can't get any worse. Okay. So the system's got to come down, and Patriot and the Trumps here in America are doing something about it. We're going to bring it down. We have to crash it. Okay. So be prepared for a crash, and it's going to be a soft transition over to another currency system. Okay. Whatever Trump and Patriots come up with. Meantime, there are options for the first time ever in history with cryptocurrency and the technology that's available today. There are options to move some money, some of this fiat. There's an option of, what was I saying? To the fiat system to have money, another choice. Okay, before cryptocurrency, there wasn't any other choice, right? I mean, there was gold, there was silver. You could buy gold, you could buy silver, hold on to it if you're lucky. Okay, and have that as a backup. Okay, because it's always kept its wealth. It's always stayed steady in its wealth. Okay, and its value. Thousands of years. Okay. But a lot of people can't get their hands on gold and silver. They don't have a place to hide it at home. And it's just kind of a difficult thing to use. They're not even making coins really that you can afford and carry around in your pocket. Then if everybody knows you're using gold, you're going to get robbed. You're going to get killed. I mean, they're killing people over tennis shoes. So they're going to kill you over silver and gold if they know you got it. So it's a little crazy, but cryptocurrency, like I said, because of the technology, it's the first time in history when we have an unbelievable option. Okay. Now, with our coin, the billion coin, again, we've been out for 2 years. We have not put our coin on a market. It cannot be manipulated by the wealthy. We don't allow a bunch of rich people to come in and buy it all up and leave nothing left for the rest of the masses. That would be like, we would be like every other coin out there. It just cares about ourselves. Hey, let's get a coin out there. Let's make a bunch of money and then put it on the trading exchange and let it go. Meanwhile, we're rich. Okay, and that's what usually is behind these things. Now, back when the so-called Satoshi Nakamoto created the blockchain and created Bitcoin, his intentions seemed to be very, very good. Okay. In fact, after a couple of years, he actually stepped back and just let it go and just kind of disappeared. Nobody really knew who he was anyway. In fact, I'm going to talk about that in an old blog from 2 years ago from the admin. This is what we call, or Chris Kringle, we call him. It's where we get the name Kringles for our division of coins, because he's like Santa Claus. We give the coin away because our system, our value of our coin is based on members, you and me. It's based on the value of us as human beings. Okay. So every time a member joins our community, every time somebody joins our community, whether they're a 1-year-old baby or a 100-year-old man or woman, and everything in between joins with a name and an email address, it has been raising, because we've been comparing it to the euro, right, which is a fiat currency, which doesn't make any sense because we're trying to get rid of the fiat currency. Fiat currency, I believe is how you pronounce it, and which includes the fiat Federal Reserve note / US dollar, okay, which is not the government's money here in the United States, okay? Woodrow Wilson signed the money system over to a private bank called the Federal Reserve in 1913, 3 days after he got into office. That was his job, to betray the American people. People can be bought when you have a lot of wealth, okay? Common sense. So that's what happened. The problem is we've been on that system now straight since 1913. That's 105 years. We haven't been able to get rid of it. Before, it's been there, okay, but a couple of our presidents managed to get rid of it, okay? The first one was Andrew Jackson, okay, and that's why our president today, Donald Trump, has a portrait of Andrew Jackson hanging on the wall in the Oval Office, okay, because that is what Trump and the Patriots are going to do. Get rid of that central banking system and take our money back. Okay, but this time we're going to close and shut them out and they're not coming back. Okay, but we haven't been able to do that before for two reasons. Technology hasn't allowed us to be able to get out of that system. We haven't had an option. Okay, and the second one is we haven't had a president since Taft that was not a politician and wasn't bought and paid for until John F. Kennedy came along. Okay? John F. Kennedy came along and was going to go get rid of the central banking system. He was going to keep the silver and bring it back in to the monetary system. He was going to do a lot of things. We know what happened to John F. Kennedy. Okay? And his brother Robert, they didn't even let him get far enough to even take a chance on him becoming president. Okay? That's just my opinion. And Reagan, he had been a politician. Okay? He was an actor, then he was a politician, governor of California for many years. But the man had a good heart. He did a lot of good things, but he was not able to, and there wasn't enough supporters at that time. Everything seemed good. Credit was new to us. Oh, this is fantastic. So it just wasn't the right time. But now we see how the credit has hurt the majority of us. In the 90s is when we started to feel it. Okay, because when they took us off the gold standard in 1971, things started to look, well, we had a little transition, remember? They put us on the petrodollar, and then they told us there was no gasoline. Okay, but we got through that little period, and we got the gas back. And then they brought out the credit, okay? A little card called MasterCharge. And they said, hey, man, we're going to give you this card, and you can buy things without money, and we'll just keep a ledger, and you can pay us back every month, a little payment. And we'll charge you interest. It's a way of lending money to you, okay? Well, that was awesome, right? So that's what we were experiencing. That's what we were experiencing in the 70s, late 70s, and all through the 80s. It seemed like there was all kinds of abundance. Okay? But in the 90s, when things started to hit the fan, when it came to debt, and all of a sudden we were going, what? Why? What? The country's in debt to who? What? What are they talking about, this debt? And why do they have to charge us so much income tax now? And all this. Okay, that's when it started to hit us and we realized there's something wrong, but there wasn't anything we could do about it. Okay, so now we have put a businessman and a deal maker into the office. Never been a politician in his life. Okay, the only skills he has is the skills that are pertinent to leading a country with a healthy outlook, an outlook that says, hey, this is my country. This is our country. We don't want these people controlling our country and our government. It is corrupt to the max. All they do and that's would be the deep state, central banking system. We can call them the elite. All the elite do is wreak havoc all through the world, and the world turns around and blames America. Makes us all look bad, like we're just the devils of the world. And here we are, a Christian nation, and we're the devils of the world. Does that make sense? It's like they're demonizing Russia right now. There's another full Christian country. They're demonizing, make them look like the devils of the world. That's the elite. That's not us Americans. Okay? That's not us patriots, I should say. So we know better. We know what's going on. Trump knows what's going on. And he has a tremendous amount of support. For the first time in history, you're seeing amazing things. You're seeing peace happening over in Korea. You never saw that before. Okay? And you're going to see it happen again. You're going to see it happen again in the Middle East. Okay? Because that's all been controlled by the deep state for decades. And the deep state doesn't want to get kicked out of Syria. They don't want to lose control, but they are. Okay? All we have to do is manage and have help from our friends, which would be Iran, Russia, China, Syria itself, Assad, to get them out so that we can pull our troops out, get them safe, put them back on the USS Truman. Okay? And the next thing that's going to happen is Iran. Okay? They're going to be made to look like they're nuts, they're crazy. They're going to start saying, hey, we're going to bomb Israel. We're going to bomb the United States. And then the next thing you're going to know, it's just going to be like North Korea. Okay? They'll make peace. Mark my words. We know what we're doing. And we know what we're doing with our billion coin. It's a cryptocurrency that is decentralized. It's private. It can't be stolen from you unless you do something, you get scammed somehow by somebody else, but that's between you and somebody else. Okay. But we do have a pinch of centralization, just enough to control the distribution of wealth evenly among the people as we're distributing. We are in the distribution business. We are in our distribution phase. We have been since we started, because the value of our coin increases with the distribution and getting it into the hands of the people. 1 billion coins is all it's ever going to be. That's why we call it a billion coin. And when we get our first billion members, that will max out the price. It will never go higher after that. Now, when we were basing it on the euro, which today is the last day we're basing it on the euro. Tomorrow it's going to be based on gold. Okay? Because it's time now. It's just time. Base it on something real. Okay? But it's good for all of us, because what it does is it gives us all an instant pay raise, those of us who have the coin. Because a grain of gold is worth more than a euro. If a euro is worth $2.20, well, let's just say if a grain of gold is worth $2.20, €2 and whatever they call cents. I'm not that familiar with the euro, but okay, let's talk US dollars. Okay, $2 and maybe 80 cents, $2.70, whatever it is for a grain of gold. A grain of gold is the smallest measurement of gold that there is. It's smaller than a gram. It takes 480 grains of gold to make 1 troy ounce, to equal 1 troy ounce of gold. Okay, so instead of every member coming in and raising the price of our coin by €1, which right now we have 3.1 million members. So it's our coin, a full coin is worth 3.1 million euros. Okay, and every time somebody joins, which 4, 5, 6, 7,000 join every day, then he raises it up by that many euros. But starting tomorrow, And already over on the other side of the world, like Japan area, it is going to be in gold. And a grain of gold is worth $2.80, I think, close to $3. So right now, our coin today being worth 3.1 million euros, tomorrow it's going to double point something, right? It's going to do more than double. It's going to go up to about 7 million euros if you were to still compare it to euros, which we're not going to anymore. Okay, so it'd be worth, 3.1 million grains of gold, which would be about 7 million euros. Okay, and 7.5 to close to $8 million per coin. That's what we're at already. Okay, so when we get to our first billion and that coin maxes out, whatever that is, 1 billion, it's going to be in grains of gold. That's going to be what? 2 point something billion dollars per coin. Now, that little centralization I talked about is the ability of admin to control the wealth so that everybody gets wealthy. Okay, there's abundance for all 7.5 billion people on this earth. Our goal is to eliminate financial global poverty. No more homeless. Okay, and yes, we're going to still have the mentally ill with us, but we'll be able to put them someplace where they can be taken care of and they won't get hurt, and people won't pick on them. They won't be out on the streets. The majority of them, right? We'll build everything. We'll have everything. We'll take care of the poor. We'll take care of the sick. We'll take care of the old. We'll take care of everything. We'll build whatever needs to be built. It's going to be 6.5 billion people that are going to have access to Pringles. And we can pay them what they're worth. Not no minimum wage where they're having to have 3 part-time jobs right now to support themselves and maybe one other person. It's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. So this is our goal, and this is what we're doing. And the reason we're doing these 24/7, or at least we're getting started with it. We're going to continue to do this. And as time goes forward from tomorrow we start the migration. We're going to be bringing 3 million of our members, 3.1, over to the new blockchain platform, which is super, super, super fast. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar or not, but or you're aware, but when, Bitcoin can be used at the registers, certain stores, I think Subway might still be accepting Bitcoin right there at the register. They just use a QR code from their phones and you can get a sandwich, right? The problem is that coin could go down in value the following day. You don't know. And so it's not stable enough for the masses of merchants and retailers and service providers to accept it. Not to mention there's only 21 million coins that are going to be mined. 21 million. It's nowhere near a billion. 21 million coins is not enough to eliminate global poverty when there's 7.5 billion people on the earth. Okay? So again, a lot of thought and effort went in by the creators of the billion coin. And they remain anonymous, just like this so-called Satoshi Nakamoto remains anonymous. And he stepped away from it in 2011, which was very good of him to do that. And he left the control of it into the independent miners, okay, because it was time, okay, and it was good. And I don't think he's going to ever come back. He could, but I don't think he's going to come back. It's just my opinion. There would be really no need unless he was going to change things. So why change things? Okay, in spite of the fact that it started out with not enough coins to really supply the entire world, it still, was a great thing that he did. He created the encryption, the blockchain, and it got put out there, and people have taken that technology and duplicated it and created their own coins, and now there's lots of options until we came along 2 years ago. The billion coin. Our coin, our Kringles, goes up every single day. In fact, the billion coin itself is just so expensive now, right? Well, tomorrow, $7 million a coin in worth of gold, right? On gold now. So who can afford that? I mean, people can barely afford a Bitcoin now at $9,000. Okay, so we're going to call our coin the Kringle coin more often than TBC or the billion coin. It just makes sense. Okay, because people are going to have Kringles, lots and lots of Kringles. You could be multimillionaires with Kringles. Okay, multimillionaires with Kringles. If you do have a full coin, you'll be a multi-billionaire, right? Because each coin will end up, when we have our first billion people, being worth 2 point something billion dollars. So I'd like to talk about something here. I wrote it down. And read off an old blog. This was like 2 years ago. Okay, let's see. Hold on. My computer's running really slow for some reason. There it goes. Okay. This one was one he wrote 2 years ago. It's titled Why, and by the way, the blog is how the admin, the creators of the billion coin, communicate to us, the community. Okay. Again, that just goes to show you that we have a community. The other cryptocurrencies don't really have a community. They're just out there. Okay, there's like 12 million, they think, because they can never be for sure, but they can estimate there's 12 million users of the Bitcoin in the world. 12 million, that's all. And at 7.5 billion, there's only 12 million. That's the community, because nobody knows who has the coin. You can't communicate with those people. Don't do this, don't do that. Let's work together as a team. Let's do something with this currency. It just got thrown out there. Okay, which is fine. That's the way things start out. Okay, but now it's different. Technology always improves. People take a look at things and they realize, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at cryptocurrency. Look what we can do. We actually can get off the central banking system and get our freedom back. Okay? We can get our freedom back. We can live better lives. We can take care of each other. We can eliminate crime based on scarcity, based on lack. We can't get rid of all crime, because people are going to hate each other no matter what. But you're going to get rid of that crime that's based on lack. I don't have enough, so I got to go rob somebody. Okay? I don't have a car, so I got to go carjack somebody and get a car. That's not going to be there if the world is an abundant world, which it is, but the elite are keeping it from us. We haven't known anything different, so we're brainwashed into that. The kids. Okay, so this article, back to this article. Why Satoshi Nakamoto worked by his identity. Okay, and this was posted on March 6th of, this was an article by Timothy Lee that the admin is letting us know about, which was posted on March 6, 2014. Okay, and Timothy says, We may now know who Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, is. According to Newsweek, he's a reclusive 64-year-old Japanese man who lives in Temple City, California. And Satoshi Nakamoto is his real name. He has reportedly denied being involved with Bitcoin. Okay, now back to me. I'm not really sure if Satoshi Nakamoto is his real name. I kind of think it's not. But anyway, this is Tim talking on this article. He says, he continues, Newsweek portrays Nakamoto as secretive, reclusive, and a little paranoid. And certainly the awkward scene when Leah McGrath Goodman confronted Nakamoto in his driveway suggests that the man is genuinely uninterested in seeking the spotlight. But Nakamoto's decision to disappear from public view just as Bitcoin was taking off wasn't just a reflection of his eccentric personality. It was essential to getting the currency to take off. Fiat currencies like Bitcoin, okay, and they considered a fiat currency when it came out, are fundamentally built on faith. People treat a currency as valuable because they expect others to consider it valuable. And for a decentralized currency like Bitcoin, that faith depends on a belief that the rules of the currency will be stable over time. Now, again, this was 4 years ago. We were just getting used to knowing what cryptocurrency was. He calls it a fiat currency, okay, but it's not really a fiat currency whatsoever. That's the great thing about cryptocurrency, because it takes work and effort. One coin. It's just like mining gold. It takes equipment. It takes going after digging up the gold. It takes, processing the gold and all that. It's the same thing with mining. You have to use a amount of electricity into the system, the hardware that creates that coin. And then you've got one coin. Somebody worked very hard all day long to get one coin, to make one coin into the system. Okay? And they get rewarded for doing that. They make a certain amount of coins, they get to keep a coin. Something like that. I don't know what the thing is, but that's how the mining is working. So you have that proof of work that gives it value, that makes it money, plus the supply and demand. Okay? Whereas the central banking system, the Federal Reserve, they can just print all the ones they want. They can just push a button on their computers. Oh, we need another $1 trillion. Okay, let's just put it in there. And what all the zeros. Okay, now we got it. What do we need to pay? That's the way that system is, and that's why it's going down. That's why it's lost 97%. And that's why the world is getting rid of it. China doesn't want anything to do with the US dollar. Russia's already gotten rid of it. China's got their own cryptocurrency. They're going to buy their oil from Saudi Arabia using that cryptocurrency instead of the US petrodollar. What's going to happen to all those petrodollars when China doesn't need it anymore and they send it back? Nations all over the world, countries all over the world are watching. They don't want anything to do with the US dollar because the US dollar is not our dollar. Okay, it's the elite's dollar. It's the private bank, the Federal Reserve private bank's dollar. And it's worthless. But they're loaning it to our government, and then they're charging them interest. And the only way they can pay it is by charging us, the people, income tax. And all that income tax goes for interest payments. Okay? Ends over in London, and London hands it out to where it's supposed to be. Okay? All right. So that's the thing is, okay, that cryptocurrencies are not really fiat, but there are some abilities to manipulate it, obviously, if they put it on a market. Okay. He goes on and says, for example, it's generally reported as a fact that there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoins. But that fact is just social convention. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoins because the Bitcoin community has agreed to a set of rules that doesn't allow more than 21 million Bitcoins to be created. In principle, those rules could be changed. Bitcoin's success depends on people having confidence that the rules won't be changed in a way that will destroy the value of their holdings. Okay. Now, to give you an example of our coin, the billion coin, when we first put it out 2 years ago, it was worth practically nothing. Seriously. But we didn't have a huge ICO. We had a very small and controlled ICO. We allowed 100 people, I believe it was 100. We called them stakeholders. They came in with they could only purchase a certain amount of coins. And we vetted them in the sense that we knew what kind of people they were. And they were able to come in and start the system going. Okay. And it grew from there. Okay. But what we didn't realize, or what admin didn't realize, was that by having also a decentralized wallet system, that people down the line, when the price went up because the membership grew, I mean, after the first year, when I got involved, we were at 100,000 members. So the coin was already worth 100,000 euros per coin. So these people had hundreds, thousands of coins, and they couldn't use it because the community wasn't large enough. So they wanted to sell it off to people for fiat currency, for the US dollar, for whatever money was in their country. Hey, we'll give it to you. Well, it's so expensive, I can't afford it. No, I'll give you a big discount. I'll give you, whatever, $1,000 worth, I'll give it to you for 100. Really? Okay, boom. Well, see, that is changing the rules of our agreement. That is a no-no. That devalues our money. That destroys our money. We couldn't have it, but we couldn't do anything about it because we didn't have control of the wallet system. So that was the first thing they did when they found that out, is they switched over to a new centralized wallet system that admin, the creator, could control. So that if somebody was caught discounting, bam, we could shut that wallet off. We could shut off the wallet of the person who bought it at a discount. Okay, that happened 3 months. In fact, it was still taking place, I believe, when I got involved at the end of March, right after the first year anniversary. In fact, yeah, it was just towards the end of that.
But this is so scary.
Okay, let me finish this, Phoebe. Go over there. And so that was what we experienced. Okay, and we took care of it because we were able to. Okay, that's what makes us different. Okay, so it doesn't really matter who the owner is of any coin, as long as they're doing what they're doing to make sure their coin remains a source of money. It's a monetary system. It's not a fiat system. Okay, so that's what matters. Okay. And now, a year ago, we took care of the wallet system. A year ago, we took care of the discounters. They continued to try. Okay, but now we could catch them. We started policing ourselves. We created a police force with no guns, right? A police force that just started watching every transaction that came in. And if a transaction looked, kind of like crazy, they were transferring like $43 million worth of Kringles over to somebody for $3,000. Okay, woo, red flag. So took care of that, brought in a centralized wallet system and took care of the discounters, and created at the same time our system bogged down just like Bitcoin did last year. Too many peer-to-peer transactions. Theirs was because they went on a trading exchange, and every trade that goes is a transaction. Okay, with ours, we actually were doing peer-to-peer enough at that point where it got bogged down, and we started to build that new platform right then. Boom, we saw the future. That's the good thing about our admin, and he's able to see, because he's so familiar with history, that he sees and he wants to change it. He doesn't want to repeat the history. Okay, so back to Timothy, I think that's his name. Article here. Okay. The rules won't be changed in a way that will destroy the value of their holdings. Okay, that's where I left off. This means that a strong leader would have been a liability in Bitcoin's early years. Okay, and that's how Timothy sees it. As Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto would have had a unique ability to change the rules of the game. And this is true. Okay, and get the Bitcoin community to accept, let's see, to accept the changes. Nakamoto's version of the Bitcoin software was Bitcoin by definition. As long as he was around, people would worry that he could make future changes that would destroy the value of their investments. Okay, so disappearing in early 2011 helped to remove that potential independent or impediment to, I'm trying to read this without my glasses, okay? I got it in big print here. But still, it's a little blurry. To Bitcoin's growth, Gavin Andresen, Nakamoto's successor as the leader of the Bitcoin project, is a smart and capable programmer, but he'll never have the stature within the Bitcoin community that Nakamoto did. If Andresen tried to make dramatic, potentially harmful changes to Bitcoin, he'd face a lot of resistance from the rest of the Bitcoin community. Okay. The lack of an official Bitcoin leader has also been an asset in the regulatory arena. This is big. A key argument for Bitcoin is that no one owns the Bitcoin network, which means there's no way to regulate it. Okay? That is the attraction to me to Bitcoin. Okay? Because it was the first that I knew couldn't be regulated. It couldn't be controlled. So that just sparked my interest right then in 2016 when I found out about it. Well, I found out about it in 2011, but it was internet money. That's crazy. And I just ignored it, unfortunately for me. But in 2016, it got so popular that I had to face it that it wasn't going away. It was not going away. So let's find out what this is. Okay. Had Nakamoto's identity, and I think this is where I left off. Oh, the lack of an official Bitcoin leader has also been an asset to the regulatory arena. That's where I left off. A key argument for Bitcoin is that no one owns the Bitcoin network, which means there's no way to regulate it. Had Nakamoto's identity been known a year ago, and this was in 2014, so he's talking about 2013, he might have been dragged before Congress to testify at last fall's hearings on the future of Bitcoin. Nakamoto might have faced pressure from regulators to change Bitcoin to make it easier to regulate. You see what I'm saying about the central banking system, the elite, how they work? But with Nakamoto out of the picture, the leaders of the Bitcoin community could truthfully say that no one had the authority to change Bitcoin's rules. That forced policymakers to accept the system the way it was and develop policies to accommodate it. If the man Newsweek identified today, this is in 2014, proves to be the real Satoshi Nakamoto, the question is whether he's been away from the project long enough that Bitcoin will continue to be seen as truly outside anyone's control. Well, as we know now, 4 years later, yes, it's continued to be outside anybody's control. I think the answer is probably yes. Now, there is a significant community of Bitcoin developers who have grown used to managing the currency without Nakamoto's input. They probably wouldn't defer to him the way they would have in 2011. But just to be on the safe side, it would be smart for Nakamoto not to rejoin the Bitcoin development community anytime soon. So when other people ask you, Okay, now this is back to the admin of our coin, the billion coin, and he is saying, so when other people ask you as members of our billion coin community, who is the creator of TBC? You can answer, it doesn't matter who, because TBC is a true cryptocurrency and it's completely decentralized. Okay? The coin is completely decentralized. We never have to worry about a company changing things or losing our money because as a TBC coin owner, I have just as much rights as the next TBC coin owner. And the price of TBC only goes up. Okay, so that's just a cool blog from 2 years ago. That kind of explains, it gives you an idea of the creator behind the Bitcoin. And we've seen over the years what the Bitcoin has been able to do. We've also seen it become limited to only an option after they put it on the market. Our coin is a solution. Okay? It's an absolute solution to all the problems that are created by scarcity and poverty in this world. That is huge, friends. It's just huge. That's why I'm here every day that I can be talking about. Okay, tell Nina. And because we are at a point here now where we're moving over, we're migrating over to a brand new 2.0 blockchain platform that will be able to transact thousands of transactions, hundreds of thousands per minute, compared to 10 transactions at the most, and Bitcoin can do per second, only 10. Okay, it's a solution. Okay, so when you hear things, and when I talk about the situation of the economy that's going on around the world and what, you know, is happening, and we know it, we live it, we live in that scarcity mindset. A lot of us don't even want to hear about problems with the fiat currency system and can it go down again? Can the stock market crash again? Can there be breadlines again like there was, in 1929 and in the 30s because of the massive depression? Can it be bad? Can it be like it was in Venezuela, where the food just disappeared off the shelves? Or in Greece, where the bank shut down and had a holiday and you couldn't get your cash out of any ATM machine unless you had Bitcoin, okay? And a Visa card that was connected to a bank that was accepting Bitcoin. You can go right to the ATM and get cash, okay? And those were the only people that survived with cash and had cash when that happened in Greece. And now we have a solution, and we know, I mean, even though you don't want to hear it, and I don't blame you, because it just causes anxiety. And we don't need that in our lives, right? We've got enough problems and stress just by living every day. And we got money in the bank. We have our IRAs. We got our retirement funds. We got Social Security. We got whatever we're looking forward to or we're already on. And we got some built up, value in our homes. We can take loans out. And that's going to go away, just like it did in 2008. Okay, and everybody got their house foreclosed on and couldn't keep up with the payments. That's what's going to happen around the United States when the transition comes and the economy crashes. Massive inflation. If you don't have enough to go out and buy bread, then you're not going to have bread, right? If you don't have enough to make your mortgage payment, then you're going to lose your home, as so many people did. So many people also lost their retirement, and so they said, how are we going to live every month? We own our home. We were smart enough to just buy our home outright. We had the ability to. So we did, those individuals that I personally know. This is what happened to them in 2008. Okay? They didn't have to worry about losing their homes. Those people I'm particularly talking about. Others did. Many, many people I know lost their homes. Okay, but those ones who didn't, they still didn't have any cash anymore. They still didn't have a retirement that they could pull out of fixed income. Even if they did, that fixed income wasn't worth what it was before. Some people went back to work. They went to Walmart, stood there and greeted people as they came in through the doors, right? Whatever you got to do. And it's crazy. Okay, so what they did was they went out and the banking system came up with a little solution. Hey, guys, not really a solution. It was just another scam. Hey, guys, we'll give you a reverse mortgage. What's a reverse mortgage? Well, we'll take the value of what you got in your home in equity, and we're just going to lend you the money right now. Every month, we'll give you $4,000. Really? Yeah. For the rest of your life. Well, you're going to live another 10, 20 years, whatever. And then you'll be fine. Well, then what happens to that equity? Well, the equity is still going to grow. We'll base it on that. It's still going to grow over. It's still going to go up in value over the years. But yeah, we'll be using it now. But see, you need it now. You need it to live on. So why not take it now? And it's better than refinancing because blah, 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 whatever. They make it look, great. So people did that. Yeah, they survived. Okay, they survived until they died. They had money, they had cash, but they took all that value from their homes. And their homes were just mortgaged out to the max when they died. There was nothing left for their kids. They just had to sell the homes and give the money to the bank. And if they were lucky, maybe they made a little bit for themselves. Okay, but this is how the central banking works. We're sick of it. We're sick of living the way we are. We're sick of looking around at the world and seeing all the crazy things. We don't want to. We put our blinders on, right? We just want to see the happy stuff. Watch TV, watch sitcoms, watch comedians, make us laugh because real life sucks. Okay? Yeah, and some of us can handle it better than others, obviously. Okay? But it just depends on, each individual. It depends on what God had planned for you. Okay, but we're learning. We're all going to learn from going through every experience we go through every day. That's why we're here. That's why God created humankind. Okay? Because he wants a family. He wants to teach us to be just like him. He is creating us in his image. He didn't create us in his image. We weren't created in his image. Those are past tense words that the English language uses. Okay? And it was written in Hebrew, which is aorist tense, which means the present. It means technically, it means the past, present, and the future. Okay, but it's the present. So those words, instead of saying God created us, it's God is creating us in his image. It's a process. We go through it with our life. Okay, we go through it with our life. We learn, and as we learn, we are being created in his image. We are learning to be like him. We have to learn everything. We have to learn evil, and we have to learn good. I've talked about this before. We can't know good without the evil. Where is she? Oh, Phoebe, she's underneath that blanket, blasting her Kindle. Okay, so that's the situation. And we need to just open our eyes and stay awake a little bit enough to realize that, I know what's going on. I don't want to face it, but I know what's going on. And we're here now to tell you that, and we don't want to just talk about the fact that we're at a point in our history where that crash has to happen. And this time, the central banking isn't going to be able to hold it right there at that edge and say, okay, now we're going to bail you out. We're going to bail out the banks, insurance, car companies. We're going to bail everybody out. They're not going to be able to hold that. It's going to crash in on them. And the whole system's going to fall apart. And if they have control of the narrative, they're going to point their finger at us and Trump. They did it. They did it with their tariffs. They did it with this. They did it with that. They did do nothing for the economy. We don't want to do anything for the current economy because it's based on their system. We want it crashed. Okay, so if we keep the narrative, we've got it all in control. Okay, there'll be a soft transition. Okay, and I've always said, hey, it doesn't hurt. Have a little extra food, have a little extra water, have a little extra medicine, have a little extra cash, because we'll still be on a cash system. You may not be able to get it from your bank. Have a little extra gold, a little extra silver if you can. Just common sense stuff that in case the transition is a little hard, God forbid it won't be that way, then at least we'll have a chance. If it's a soft transition, we may not need any of that, okay? But we'll have it just there, and it will give us confidence and take out a lot of anxiety. And we don't want to live our lives stressful, okay? We should be living a much healthier and happier lives. The entire world should be. There shouldn't be any war. There shouldn't be any poverty, okay? We're always going to have disease, but if we clean up the world, there's going to be less disease. Okay, and there's plenty of room on this planet for billions and billions more people. The resources are almost unlimited, but we haven't been told that. We've been told the exact opposite. Okay, there are certain things limited, like gold and silver. That's what gives them their value. Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like food, water. It's unlimited. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it. I've been on an hour. I was going to talk more about getting rid of the central banking system and how we're doing it. And it's very obvious to those of us who know what's going on, that's what we're doing, because we're part of it. We're actually part of it. We're doing something. Even if we're just letting other people know, hey, this is what's happening. See? And then all of a sudden you can look and say, well, yeah, but oh, wow. And, and all of a sudden you really see, oh, wow. Gosh, North Korea, we were going to go to war with North Korea. And why now? Wait a second. Kim Jong-un actually did leave his country, and he didn't have to worry about a regime change while he left. But the first time in his life, he left the country and went over to China and had to chat with them. Why did that happen? Why was he able to do that? Because we have gotten rid of the deep state, the elite, out of that country. They didn't have any power to change the regime, okay? Because they knew Kim really wasn't going to go to war with anybody, okay? And so we see that and we say, well, now there's peace. Oh my gosh, he just stepped over into South Korea for the first time. First leader of North Korea since 1948 to step over a demilitarized zone, or when the war ended, whenever it did, in the 50s. 52, whenever it was. And this is incredible. Now they're talking reuniting, they're talking complete denuclearization of the peninsula. Okay, wow. How did that happen? And of course the corporate media is not talking about it, because the elite who controls the corporate media, who owns the corporate media, they're really, really mad. Okay? To be use nice words, they're really, really ticked off. Okay? Because they're losing. They're losing the battles. They're losing the battles in Syria. See what's going on in Syria. Okay? People are talking about it. I don't have to be the one to be the only one to talk about it. I get all my information from, like I said yesterday, 7 or 8 good sources that I've learned over the years to count on. That give me the honest truth journalism. Okay? And I pick through those sources every day, and I get the latest, greatest, real news. And it all makes sense because it's all really happening. We're going to get our troops out of Syria, friends, and we're going to let Russia, Iran, and Assad clean up the rest of ISIS, which is deep state, and Al-Qaeda, whatever's in that country. And we're going to take and make peace with Iran. But we're going to see the same thing with Iran as we saw with North Korea. Okay, they'll start out being crazy. looking like they're crazy, because guess what? The deep state is still in Iran, but we're right there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to do something to be crazy like they do, to get the people, distracted so they can continue to do their evil. We've got our ships sitting over there in the Mediterranean and wherever the USS Truman is. Well, right there, I think maybe they're all there in the Mediterranean. Okay. We could see a ship crash into another ship. We could see something going on, a bomb, making it to a ship on purpose with help, make it look, and then they can blame somebody. They can blame Iran. Let's go to war now. Okay. They need war. Okay. So, let's hope that doesn't happen. I mean, it's just silly, but we're going to see some silly things. And when you see them, if you've listened to me or you've read some news, you're going to believe it. And if you believe that, then you should be believing what I'm talking about and the rest of us on these live 24/7 broadcasts on YouTube about the billion coin. And it's being a solution, not just an option, an absolute solution, because it will never be manipulated. It will never be in the hands of the elite rich, a certain amount where the rest of us are poor. It's never going to be that way. It's always going to go up in value. It can't be stopped. And when we're done with migration, we'll be able to transact just like that at the register. So it's going to start getting accepted. We're going to blow past the membership of a measly 12 million that Bitcoin has. We're going to go up to 85 million, just if we just grew at the same amount that we grew last year. And that was when we were slow. So you can imagine what's going to happen. I can guarantee you within 2 years, we'll be at $1 billion. It only takes 9 more doubles to be at $1 billion. Okay. Which just means that people that are involved just need to go out and get 1 or 2 people in a week, in a day, in a month. If they took a whole month to give the gift away to 2 people, and then those people did the same thing, give the gift away for free to 2 other family members or friends, we would double in 9 months. We'd be at $1 billion. The world would be different. It would be changed. It would be different. We wouldn't even have to worry about a transition or what kind of monetary system they're going to come up with, which the only thing that makes sense is they're going to bring the gold back and put us back on the gold standard, right? So, which would be fine. But cryptocurrency is the way to go. Countries are going to make their own cryptocurrencies. So that's the future. So pay attention, get on board, join our community, because our community is going to be a real good thing. Really good thing. Okay, we don't care what your ideologies are, what your race is, what your religions are. We don't care about any of that. We care about eliminating poverty in the world. We care about creating peace in the world. Okay? So come and join us. It's free. Okay, yes, there is actually there's an annual $10 fee for your back office now. It used to be an option. We didn't even used to in the beginning have a back office. But when we had to become partially centralized, hey, now we can give the coin away for free. Of course, he had this whole plan, that part of it. He had it on the back burner, the creator, Chris Kringle. Now we can give it away free, and we can actually keep track of what you guys do. And if you are really active in our community and give this coin away, we're going to reward you with a full coin. Okay? And we're also going to, for those who just have a really hard time giving the gift away, we're going to give them the opportunity to get a full coin for just $100. And now sounds like a scam, right? It sounds like admin's discounting the coin, but we're not buying it from him. You have to buy it from one of us. Okay? We have to buy it from one of our current member who has enough coin to sell. And it's not going to bother us. Okay? And we don't need the fiat currency. It's just that we got to charge something to give it some kind of value so that you are putting at least $100 of an investment in to say, hey, I've got something. But when you can buy a full coin that's going to end up being worth 2 point something billion, just one coin for $100 right now, with our cookie reward promotion, and we have tons of promotions, people, all the time. Why? Because we have a balanced distribution. We are distributing our coin, balancing out to 1 million billionaires, 1 billion millionaires, multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, with the left Kringles left over for the rest of the 6.5 billion people on Earth. Okay? That's why. We're not used to seeing that, hearing that, knowing that, realizing that, because we've been raised our whole lives under a debt-based system. Okay. So that's it. I'm done for today. I believe I'm already scheduled. No, I don't think I even have scheduled myself yet for tomorrow, but I'll go there and get on and show up, hopefully, God willing, at 5 o'clock Pacific Daylight Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Savings Time tomorrow. And we'll talk some more about some interesting stuff. And again, the fact that our coin, the Kringle coin, the billion coin, is a solution, and it's right now. Get in and help us spread the word. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel below. Like it, give it a thumbs up. This will help you get out on the search easier for people to see and to catch when they look over to the right side of YouTube, when they're watching the YouTube about Bitcoin or some other coin, they're going to see something about the billion coin. Okay. And they're going to say, what is the billion coin? Even those who are traders right now, and they're working all kinds of coins, Litecoin, Monero, Dash, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, all the different coins are out there, and they're manipulating and playing. They never hear about the billion coin because we're not on the trading exchange. So they see it. There's a good chance now that we're doing this, they can see it on YouTube. It's pop up if they're doing some kind of search on YouTube and get some information about a coin here or there. Like there's always new coins coming out, so they got to do some kind of research and find out about the new coin because they want to get in on the ICO and they want to make sure it's legitimate and not a scam before it gets put on the trading exchange. They can double their money and run. Okay, so they'll see it and they'll listen to it, and there's going to be so many of us continually to do this every day that helps tremendously to get the word out that we are not just an option like the other cryptocurrencies. We are an absolute solution. And there's another coin coming out a year from now that is going to be just like ours. Okay, they've got a slightly different algorithm. They're going to base theirs on every time a person buys the coin, it raises the price of the coin up a fraction. The next person has to buy it at a fraction of the cost higher. And the next person, a fraction of the cost higher. Okay? What does that tell you? It tells you that the coin is never going to go down in value. Okay? That the more the coin is spread out over the earth and through people, the higher that price is going to go. And then they'll have it maxed out. It is currently that way with their ICO. Their ICO is happening right now. They've broken all records for an ICO. $1.7 billion they brought in. Okay, why? Why? Because people know at this time, 2018, cryptocurrency has been around. They understand the system. And they have confidence, full confidence in this particular company because they're already huge in the private chat industry. I'm just going to come out and tell you it's Telegram. Okay? I've told you before in other videos. It's the Telegram messaging service. It's completely private. No third party can know what you're chatting about, not even Telegram. They got 200 million people chatting last month on their free service. Hey, if you want to get a hold of me, I've taken my information about Facebook off the descriptions below. And now I've just got a private, secured, open source, blockchain, whatever you want to call it, email system called Proton Mail. And I use, for chatting, I use Telegram. And I've got my Telegram username there. It's at PaulFisher69. Okay, so It's real, people. Take a look at it, but you know, I'll let you go for now. And I'm sorry I talked too long. It's hard for me to just get it all out in a half hour. It really is. But I'm going to try harder. I'm also going to try to get more organized and speak better so I don't repeat things. I'm always constant, and I apologize if you've looked at any of my other um, videos. Sometimes I'll use the Bitcoin when I'm supposed to say the billion coin, or I'll use the billion coin when I'm supposed to say the Bitcoin. Let me see if there was anybody on my live chat. I forgot all about the live chat, guys. Computer's running slow. Okay, here it's pulling up. Let's see if there was anybody on today on a Sunday. Yes, I have people. You know, and I appreciate you guys. If you guys are still listening to me, which you probably aren't, you've probably gotten off the system. But I just want you to know, if you watch this later, that I really appreciate everything you guys say. Okay, Diana Gordon, I appreciate you so much. All of you guys that have come on. Today, Bitcoin Scott came on. You know, I'm glad you came on, Bitcoin Scott. Jules, you've been there. Thank you so much. Roy, thank you so much. I watch your videos, guys. Okay, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I really, really am. There's an Egodo Sydney and a Crypto Gold TBC. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Okay, I cannot thank you guys enough for watching, for writing what you write, and supporting some of the things that I say. Because people will see these videos and they will see the live chat while they're watching the videos, right? So these things that you say are very, very important for people to see. That, oh wow, you know, there's people actually watching Paul do this live. That's why I try to watch you guys live. If I don't worry. I am watching you guys later. And when I watch, I give you the thumbs up. Okay? I support you guys in everything you do because I know what it takes. I know what it takes for me to do this every day. Okay? And the sacrifices that I'm giving. And I'm passionate about it. And I know you guys are doing it because you're passionate about it. Okay? And it just brings me joy. Okay? So thank you so much. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right? Have a great, whatever you are, wherever you are, have a great evening, day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.